Warning for seniors: the hidden drink that skyrockets your stroke risk overnight. Are you drinking poison every night without realizing it? Have you ever paused with a warm glass of milk in your hand, thinking, I'm doing something good for myself tonight? Maybe it's milk, or maybe it's one of those drinks labeled great for seniors, promising stronger bones, better heart health, more restful sleep. But what if I told you that very drink, taken in quiet trust, could be silently working against you, night after night? I know it sounds hard to believe, but I've seen it with my own eyes over and over again, across more than 10 years of treating seniors as a neurologist. Stroke doesn't always come loudly. It doesn't always announce itself with a racing heart or a blinding headache. Sometimes it waits, silently, while you sleep, and you wake up to confusion, to silence, to the loss of speech, movement, or memory. In just one night, your ability to stand, speak, or recognize your family can disappear. And far too often, the person it happens to was someone who tried to follow every piece of healthy advice, who drank all the right products, fortified, low-fat, heart-friendly. But instead of protecting them, those habits pushed them closer to a stroke. In this video, I'm going to gently lift the curtain for you. I'll walk you through 9 types of drinks and food products, many of which may be sitting in your refrigerator right now, that could quietly be putting your brain at risk. We won't just look at the slogans or fancy marketing. We'll go deeper into what the real science says. And I'll share with you real patient stories from my practice, from people just like you. Because what you learn today may change how you think about food, and it may change how you care for your health starting tonight. Don't become the next victim of misinformation. Don't miss the opportunity to protect yourself from a threat that most people don't even know is in their glass. Before we begin, I want to be clear. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. This video is for you if you're over 60 or if you care for someone who is. And if what you hear today helps you, even in a small way, please take a moment to hit that like button. Share this video with someone you love and subscribe to this channel, because that tells me this message matters and it helps me continue making videos like this for your health and for others like you. Now, let's begin. 1. High calcium fortified milk, the bone-strengthening drink that stiffens your arteries. We've been told for decades, drink your milk, it's good for your bones, it'll keep you standing strong. And as we age, that message gets louder. More calcium, fortified milk, extra vitamin D. So we believe it. We trust those labels that say supports bone health, build strong bones. But what I've seen in my practice tells a different story. The problem isn't with calcium itself. It's with how much, how often, and how unbalanced we're taking it. See, when you take in large doses of calcium, especially from fortified products, without enough magnesium and vitamin K2 to balance it, your body can't use all that calcium the way it's supposed to. Instead of going to your bones, that excess calcium starts floating in your bloodstream, and over time, it settles where it shouldn't, in the walls of your arteries. This is called vascular calcification, and it's as dangerous as it sounds. It makes your blood vessels stiff. It narrows them. It turns them from flexible highways into brittle, rigid pipes. And when that happens, your blood pressure goes up. Your stroke risk climbs, especially at night when your body is naturally more dehydrated and your blood becomes more concentrated. Let me tell you about a woman I'll never forget. She was 78, a retired school teacher, kind, sharp, thoughtful. Every night before bed, she drank an 8-ounce glass of high-calcium fortified milk. She was doing what she'd been told to do. Over time, she began noticing small things. A little dizziness in the morning, a tiny sense of imbalance, some trouble remembering names.
Then one morning, her husband found her on the floor. She couldn't move her right side. She couldn't speak. She had suffered a major cerebral infarction, a serious stroke. Her lab results showed very high calcium levels, and her brain scan revealed extensive microvascular damage. She survived, but her independence was gone. And when she finally looked up at me in rehab and asked me, "Was it the milk, doctor, the thing I thought was helping me?" I had to say something no doctor wants to say. Yes, it was a major contributing factor. The American diet is full of high-calcium dairy products, and most people have no idea that the vitamin D in these drinks often exceeds what an older kidney can safely handle, especially when taken at night when your body slows down. If you're drinking milk like this regularly or taking calcium supplements without guidance, you may be gambling with your brain every single night. And the cost? Your voice, your memory, your freedom.
2. Sweetened oat milk, the healthy drink that spikes your blood sugar. In recent years, a lot of people have switched to plant-based milks, and oat milk is one of the most popular. It's dairy-free, it's smooth, it's marketed as gentle, natural, even heart-healthy. But there's a problem that many people don't see until it's too late. Most oat milk brands contain added sugar. To make them taste creamy and sweet, manufacturers add things like cane sugar, agave syrup, or other sugary flavorings. And when you drink them, your blood sugar spikes fast, then crashes. Do this every day, and you get insulin resistance, inflammation, damage to the lining of your arteries, and that's how strokes begin. A man in his early 70s came to me, very proud of his healthy lifestyle. He used a vanilla-flavored oat milk in his coffee, added it to his oatmeal every morning. Then he started noticing something, a kind of brain fog, a feeling of being behind his own thoughts. His blood pressure started fluctuating. One morning, he stood up and fell. It wasn't a full stroke, but his brain scans showed clear signs of vascular stress and damage, directly tied to unstable blood sugar levels. We made one small change, switched him to an unsweetened version, and within weeks, his symptoms began to ease. The damage from sugar isn't always obvious. It's quiet, cumulative. This isn't just about diabetes. It's about chronic, low-grade inflammation that wears away at your brain's blood supply. So the next time you reach for oat milk, check the label. Look for unsweetened. Even a small amount of sugar taken daily can become a dangerous habit.
3. Soy milk and phytoestrogens, the hormone helper that can hurt your brain. Soy milk has become a favorite for many seniors, especially women. It's plant-based, it's lactose-free, and it's often praised for its hormone balancing effects. The labels say things like, supports healthy aging, or promotes hormonal balance. And they're not wrong, but they're also not telling you the full story. The key compound in soy is something called isoflavones. These are phytoestrogens, plant chemicals that act like weak forms of estrogen. In some cases, that's helpful. But when you consume soy milk every day over long periods of time, these compounds start interacting with more than just hormones. They affect blood flow, blood viscosity, even clotting factors. And if you already have vascular issues or take medications that affect blood pressure, this could quietly raise your stroke risk. A large review in the journal Nutrients showed that the effects of phytoestrogens on the cardiovascular system are complex, sometimes protective, sometimes risky, especially for older adults with fragile vessels. I remember a woman in her late 60s, a retired librarian. She had a family history of heart disease and had switched to soy milk years ago. She believed it was helping her body and her brain. But slowly, her speech began to falter. She'd stop mid-sentence, struggling to remember a word she'd used her whole life. No signs of a classic stroke, but we found evidence of tiny, silent strokes, damage building up over time, quietly. Her lab tests showed that long-term exposure to plant estrogens was altering her blood's thickness and causing inflammation in the smallest vessels of her brain. And the scary thing? It had all seemed so natural, so harmless. Her speech therapist told me later, after switching away from soy milk, her clarity started coming back. So I'm not telling you to fear soy, but if you're drinking it every day, please be cautious. Most soy milk products don't list how much isoflavone they contain. And if you're over 60, your brain may not appreciate the hormonal guesswork.
4. Low-fat milk with phosphate additives, the heart-healthy choice that can crush your brain. For decades, we've been told to choose low-fat milk. It's been the heart-healthy option, less fat, fewer calories. But hidden inside many of these cartons is something far more dangerous: inorganic phosphate additives. These aren't the natural phosphates found in real foods. They're chemical versions added to improve shelf life and taste. And the problem is, they get absorbed very quickly. For seniors, especially those with declining kidney function, this means phosphate builds up in the blood. And that buildup leads to vascular calcification, hardening of the arteries. It's the same process we talked about earlier with calcium. Your arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, stroke risk increases silently. A study from the National Institutes of Health confirmed this link. High phosphate levels equals increased cardiovascular disease and death, especially in people with impaired kidney function. One of my patients, a woman in her mid-70s, was proud of her diet. She chose low-fat milk every time. She thought she was protecting her heart. But over time, she started having morning vertigo, a tingling in her hands, and unstable blood pressure. Her phosphate levels? Through the roof. The source? That heart-healthy low-fat milk. We made one simple change: cut the processed milk. And within a few months, her symptoms began to settle. So remember, most low-fat and skim milks now contain phosphate additives. The FDA allows it, but they rarely put it on the front of the carton. If you have high blood pressure, kidney concerns, or a history of stroke, this milk may be one of the most dangerous things in your refrigerator. Read the fine print. Don't trust the bold promises on the front.
5. Rice milk, the hidden sugar trap that starves your brain. Rice milk sounds innocent, gentle, allergy-friendly. Many older adults choose it for digestive reasons. But here's the problem. Rice milk is one of the highest glycemic milk alternatives available. When rice is processed into liquid, its natural sugars get released fast. There's no fiber to slow it down. So the sugar goes straight into your blood, spikes it, then drops it. These sugar swings are hard on the whole body, but they're especially hard on your brain. Your brain needs a steady, stable supply of glucose to function. When sugar spikes and crashes, it's like a series of tiny, silent attacks on your brain's blood flow. One of my patients had switched to rice milk because of food sensitivities. He started feeling off in the afternoons, confused, lightheaded. His memory seemed to slip. Doctors brushed it off as aging, but I checked his blood sugar. He wasn't diabetic, but his glucose was spiking every morning, right after his glass of rice milk. We switched him to an unsweetened, low-glycemic option. His clarity returned. His energy came back. So don't be fooled by the word natural. Even natural sugar can be dangerous if it comes too fast, too often. 6. Almond milk with carrageenan, the inflammatory additive. Almond milk is a go-to for many health-conscious seniors. Low-calorie, dairy-free, easy to digest. But many almond milks, especially the thicker, creamier brands, contain a hidden additive called carrageenan. It's derived from seaweed, used to make liquids feel richer. But studies, especially in gut health research, show that carrageenan can trigger chronic inflammation. And inflammation, as we've seen again and again, is a major factor in stroke. It erodes the lining of your arteries and quietly promotes clot formation. A retired nurse I worked with drank almond milk daily. She trusted the brand, didn't think twice. Then came fatigue, joint pain, elevated inflammation markers. No one could find a cause until we looked at the ingredients. She switched to a carrageenan-free brand. Her symptoms improved, not overnight, but noticeably. Carrageenan provides no nutritional benefit, and yet it could be silently harming your brain. So next time, look for labels that say carrageenan-free. Your arteries will thank you.
7. Coconut milk and saturated fats. A double-edged sword. Coconut milk has become trendy in recent years. It's exotic, rich. Many folks use it in smoothies, oatmeal, even coffee. Some people even believed it's brain food. And to be fair, coconut oil and coconut-based products do contain compounds that may offer certain benefits. But here's what you need to know. Coconut milk, especially the full-fat canned kind, is extremely high in saturated fat. The main saturated fat in coconut milk is called lauric acid, and it has a powerful effect on your cholesterol. Specifically, it can raise your LDL cholesterol. That's the bad cholesterol, the kind that clogs arteries and narrows the blood flow to your brain. You may have heard people argue that natural saturated fats aren't harmful. But a major 2020 review in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology tells a different story. The review found that while some plant fats are protective, the high saturated fat-contented coconut products should be approached with caution, especially by people with high cholesterol or a history of heart disease or stroke. So here's what I tell my patients. Using coconut milk once in a while, in a curry or a treat, that's okay. But drinking it every day, thinking it's a smart milk substitute, that's where the trouble begins. Coconut milk is a double-edged sword. It may feel healthy, it may taste wonderful, but if it raises your cholesterol, you may be trading flavor for long-term risk. And your brain deserves better. So check the label, look at the saturated fat content. And if coconut milk is your daily go-to, consider rotating in something lighter, with less fat and more balance. Because when it comes to aging well, moderation is more powerful than trends.
8. The protein powder shake. An unregulated vitamin bomb. Many of my patients, especially those living alone, try to be proactive about their health, and I respect that. They want to stay strong, they want to stay mentally sharp, they want energy. So they turn to protein shakes or nutritional powders, the kind you find at grocery stores, health food chains, or even online. These products are often marketed as all-in-one nutrition or brain support for seniors. But here's what the labels don't tell you. Most of these shakes are not regulated like medications. They're often packed with mega doses of vitamins and minerals, far more than what your body needs, especially fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and E, which don't leave your body easily. They accumulate over time. And as we get older, our liver and kidneys aren't as efficient at processing these buildups. So what starts as a healthy shake can quietly become a toxic overload. I once cared for a man in his 70s. He had recently lost his wife and was trying to take better care of himself. Every morning, he drank a branded brain-boosting shake that promised everything a senior needs in one drink. At first, it seemed fine. But after a few months, he came to see me with complaints of severe vertigo, constant ringing in the ears, fatigue, and a strange sense of unsteadiness. He was frightened. He thought something was wrong with his inner ear or balance system. We ran a full lab panel, and the results were shocking. His vitamin D and blood calcium levels were extremely high, dangerously high. He had been overdosing on these nutrients every single day, thinking he was helping himself. But he wasn't. He wasn't being careless. He was misinformed. He told me with a shaken voice, "Doctor, I just didn't want to forget things. I just wanted to stay sharp." We stopped the shakes immediately. It took months for his system to stabilize. He recovered, but the experience left him anxious, less trusting, less confident. And that broke my heart, because he was trying so hard, but no one had warned him. Most seniors don't know that these nutritional shakes can contain high levels of fat-soluble vitamins that stay in the body, add excessive iron, which can damage organs, overload the brain with stimulants or herbal blends that haven't been tested for safety in older adults. So please, if you're over 60, don't start drinking these all-in-one shakes without talking to your doctor first. Your brain doesn't need a powdered promise. It needs precision, and it needs balance. Let your nutrition come from real food, not from a plastic bottle with a shiny label. Because when it comes to brain health, more isn't always better, and sometimes more can be harmful.
9. Sweetened juices. The liquid sugar bomb. We've all heard this before. Drink your orange juice, it's full of vitamin C. Or a glass of apple juice a day keeps the doctor away. Fruit juices have been sold to us as a health staple, especially as we age. They sound natural. They come from fruit. What could be wrong? Here's what no one tells you. Most fruit juices, especially the ones in bottles and cartons, are nothing more than concentrated liquid sugar. Even if the label says 100% juice, what you're getting is the sugar of multiple fruits without the fiber that normally slows down sugar absorption. So what happens when you drink it? Your blood sugar spikes fast. Your body scrambles to handle it. Then comes the crash. And this roller coaster is dangerous. Every time your blood sugar swings like that, it triggers inflammation inside your blood vessels. That inflammation damages the walls of your arteries, making it easier for plaque to build up, easier for clots to form, easier for blood flow to get blocked on its way to your brain. This is how strokes develop quietly, over time. And the risk isn't theory. In 2019, a study published in Circulation, one of the most respected journals on heart and vascular health, found something deeply troubling. They followed thousands of adults over time and discovered this. People who drank fruit juice daily, even the natural ones labeled as 100% juice, had a significantly higher risk of early death, including death from stroke. Let me say that again, gently but clearly. Fruit juice, even the healthy kind, can raise your risk of stroke and early death. So what should you do? It's simple. Eat the fruit. Don't drink the juice. When you eat an orange or an apple or a handful of grapes, you get the sugar, but also the fiber. And that fiber slows down absorption, gives your body time to process, protects your blood vessels from sudden spikes. Your brain doesn't need sugar shots. It needs steady, stable fuel. And juice, no matter how natural, isn't steady. It's a liquid sugar bomb. So if you're drinking juice daily, even in small amounts, please rethink that habit. It might seem small, but it could be making a big difference in your long-term brain health.
What to drink and eat instead? A simple, proactive approach. After hearing all of this, you might be asking yourself, so what's left, doctor? What's actually safe for me to drink? The answer is simpler than you might expect. Your brain, especially as it ages, doesn't need powders or promises or products that confuse you. It just needs clarity. It needs consistency. And it needs real nourishment. Let me walk you through a few safe, trusted choices, things I recommend to almost every patient over 60. Water. Let's start with the most important. Plain water. It keeps your blood flowing smoothly. It helps regulate your blood pressure. It prevents dehydration, which is a major, silent cause of nighttime stroke in older adults. Try to drink 6 to 8 glasses per day. And a simple trick? Keep a glass on your nightstand. Sip before bed. Sip again when you wake up. Small sips matter. Herbal teas. Teas like chamomile, peppermint, or ginger are warm, comforting, and easy on the stomach. They hydrate you, they soothe your nervous system, and they don't come with sugar, stimulants, or additives. Perfect for the evening, or even midday instead of that second cup of coffee. Green tea. Green tea is one of the best-kept secrets in stroke prevention. It's full of natural antioxidants called catechins, which help protect your blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and improve overall circulation. Just 1 or 2 cups a day is enough. Choose decaffeinated if you're sensitive, and avoid sweetened versions. Always check the label. Unsweetened almond or oat milk. If you prefer a plant-based milk, that's okay. Just make sure it checks 2 boxes. It says unsweetened, and it says carrageenan-free. That means no added sugar and no additives that inflame your gut or arteries. These are good choices for coffee, cereal, or light evening use. Black coffee. Yes, you heard that right. Coffee, when taken in moderation, can actually help protect your brain. A 2017 review published in the British Medical Journal found that drinking 3 to 5 cups of black coffee a day was associated with a lower risk of stroke. If you tolerate it well, don't fear your morning cup. Let's choose awareness over habit. I want to end this conversation gently, but clearly. You didn't watch this video to be scared, and I didn't make it to scare you. I made it because you deserve to know that your health isn't in a product. It's in your awareness. Your brain is still fighting for you, even now, even after all it's been through. But it can't do it alone. So please, before you go to bed tonight, take 5 minutes. Open your fridge. Look at that drink you've been trusting. Turn it around. Read the label. Ask yourself, is this helping me think clearer? Is this giving me peace of mind? If not, just try something different tomorrow. Start with water. Start with tea. Start with knowledge, because you deserve to feel clear, steady, and safe in your own mind. And if this video helped you, even a little, please take a moment to click like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with a loved one who might be drinking the same thing you are. Thank you for spending this time with me.